Kale Logistics website says that you ensure that your clients have experienced first-hand modern scalable applications that provide advanced end-to-end functionality, improved operational visibility, better financial control, and tangible cost reduction. How does Kale Logistics ensure this?
Kale Logistics Solutions, when we started our business, right, we were very clear that we have to do, things differently. And there's so many systems in the world, but a lot of systems, they give good reports at the end of the month, etc. But when we decided to start off our journey, we said we have to do things differently. So we have to create systems that can actually prevent failures rather than reporting failures. Okay, so systems that will give alert to the supervisors in the company or the users, that are using our system, that something is about to go wrong, rather than giving a report at the end of the month, okay, 10 things have gone wrong, right? Now at Kale, we have always taken up the leadership position in having domain expertise, okay? How do we do that? That was your question, right, Manjula? So at Kale, we have people who have worked for, airlines, airports, freight forwarders for, 20 plus years. And these people, they provide us all that perspective of the challenges that we have. We also have, our customer meets or user groups. We have thought leadership summits, which is very unique. As an IT company, we call thought leaders, 20-25 thought leaders across the world. And then we break it into different sections and we discuss the challenges that they are facing. So all of this leads to providing solutions that really solve the problem. And it's not a laboratory thinking, that we are bringing to the table.
And if you can just take me through some of the biggest challenges that freight forwarders are facing today in this day and age here.
Freight forwarders is a large part of our customer base. We have created world-class cargo community platforms that have been awarded by United Nations and stuff like that, right? Freight forwarders are essentially the architects of freight transport, right? They are interacting with the exporters, importers, trucking companies, customs brokers. They're talking to airport cargo terminal operators, talking to overseas agents. So they're at the center. And if you look at this whole air cargo business, right, I always say that we have unnecessarily complicated it, because to move an average air cargo shipment, we have 30 types of documents, 124 copies of paper, all carrying the same information. And that happens largely because there's so many stakeholders in the supply chain, right? So if you're a freight forwarder, you will always have a challenge of, just interacting with so many parties. And most of those interactions are either manual or semi-automated. So information for them moves on a piece of paper. So they have to enter data in their system. Then airlines may be automated, airports may be automated. But then all that they have to do is they have to go to multiple portals and re-enter the same data. Now that adds a lot of complexity, a cost, and all of this results into them not being profitable. They are like the one-stop shop. So customer holds them responsible for everything, right? And access to information is very critical to them, right? Because if they have to tell the customer where their shipment is, they have to know where their shipment is, and then they have to go to multiple airline websites, airports websites, so on and so forth, and gather this information. They're also responsible for moving cargo in a timely fashion, whereas they have very little control over it, because there are airports, there are airlines that they have to interact with. So these are the different kind of challenges that they are facing. And obviously all of us know that jokingly they are called freight financiers, because they have to pay money to the airlines after X number of days, but they get their money from the exporters, importers after a long time. So it is extremely critical for them to be efficient, to be more sensitive to cost. And I think these are some of the challenges, interacting with multiple stakeholders. Regulations are changing all the time. Customers' expectations are increasing day by day because of e-commerce and stuff like that. So yeah, those are some of those challenges, and we are very happy to say that we have got solutions, for their challenges.
So from what I can gather, it's also about transparency and data collaboration. So there should be something along those lines.
Exactly. And that is exactly what Kale is known for globally. And the thing that I mentioned to you, we created world's first multimodal, because freight forwarders are multimodal by nature. They will be sending cargo through air and through ocean, cargo community system. Okay, so cargo community system is cloud platform on which multiple stakeholders like the exporters, importers, freight forwarders, airlines, shipping lines, customs, other regulators, they all exchange data with each other electronically. And Kale is a global leader in creating airport cargo community systems. And we also have, port community systems. And we've created, the most comprehensive cargo community system in the world that connects all these different stakeholders onto a cloud platform.
Drawing on sustainability now, talking about that, there has been a major emphasis in the last few years on sustainability. How has Kali Logistics incorporated the sustainability model into their solutions?
So let me just give you an example. Okay, people talk about sustainability. So in air cargo, when we want to really create a sustainable world, obviously there are different aspects to it: economic sustainability, social sustainability, environmental sustainability. Right now, let's just talk about environmental sustainability. Now, I told you about this humongous amount of paper that gets generated in the supply chain, right? Now at Mumbai Airport, we just did a pilot. Mumbai Airport is like 1 million tons of cargo, and that's probably 1.3 million shipments every year. We were looking at just in one transaction, which is the cargo delivery. We are reducing at about 8 copies of paper. Just one transaction, right? So there are total 124 copies of paper that get generated. Now look at the impact: 1.3 million shipments, 8 copies of paper, that is 10 million shipments annually. That's anywhere between 500 to 1000 trees saved per airport per annum. Now that's our contribution, right? We also did a pilot in Atlanta. By the way, Kale Logistics created North America's first airport cargo community system at world's busiest airport, which is Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. And there, in that exercise, we did a pilot, and we had about, I think, 300, 400, trucks, and we did a truck slot management use case. Now that in itself, the benefits, so about $70,000 in labor savings because wait time for trucks reduced, drastically. Then we had, in terms of CO2, carbon emissions, right? About 9 million grams of carbon emissions were saved just with this, small subset that we did, right? So whether it is about reducing carbon emissions by eliminating queues of trucks, whether it is about eliminating paper, or when it comes to economic sustainability, reducing cost drastically. We have a very innovative service called Ping, which converts PDF documents into system data. So that, if you do that, then you can actually save about 80% of your airport cargo documentation costs, right? So that's the economic sustainability element of it. Plus, when you talk about social sustainability, how can you give a better life if the drivers have to wait less at the airport, if they're not exposed to this huge amount of CO2? We obviously create that, social sustainability element. So our solutions contribute in creating environmental sustainability, economic sustainability, and social sustainability as
well. Blockchain is soon becoming a new preferred form of currency, and has Kali Logistics embraced blockchain into their model? And were there challenges in doing so?
Blockchain as a concept obviously is, work in progress. There's a lot of, stuff happening around the world. And we as Kale Logistics, obviously, we want to be at the forefront of this whole deep tech revolution, right? So we are doing use cases in blockchain, artificial intelligence, machine learning, drones, Internet of Things. And one of the use cases that we did for blockchain was essentially in connecting two airports together. Okay, so because let's say Mumbai and Amsterdam. So whatever is happening in Amsterdam is today not visible to the guys in Mumbai, and the other way around. Although both Mumbai and Amsterdam have community systems which connect different stakeholders. So one of the use cases was just connecting these two different airports using blockchain technology. So we did work with Microsoft, Corda blockchain, and did a use case where this status information of shipment could be exchanged between two airports or ports of two countries using the blockchain platform. So our digital corridor offering is actually based on blockchain.
And were there any challenges that you
Well,
encountered?
challenges is just the understanding because this is an evolving concept. So the expertise, the resources that are available for you to develop this whole concept, it's not easy, right? And when this expands, beyond two airports, then you're talking about different mechanisms of blockchain working together, and there is no common global standard, for blockchains. So those are some of the challenges, but honestly speaking, we could overcome those challenges with the help of Microsoft and others.
And would some kind of regulatory framework help, like enable it and smoothen it out?
So the use case that we did, it didn't enter in the realm of regulation, right? Because it was shipment status information to be exchanged. If we were eliminating a document which was required by law, then that would have necessitated, some regulatory changes to happen. So that was it.
Now, talking about the metaverse, that's another trend will become the norm. How will the metaverse impact the supply chain? How do you think it can revolutionize and impact it?
I think supply chain has got several problems to solve, right? So number one is obviously the different stakeholders and the information that is exchanged across these different stakeholders. If there is streamlining of that, using technologies like then that is something which will really deliver to the supply chain world something that it has been looking for. So seamless exchange of information across the stakeholders, seamless aggregation of what comes out of it, to provide insights for policy changes, etc. Those are the things that will really help.
So, Innovate will help with transparency and visibility.
Exactly.
So, one of the speakers at our e-commerce summit had said that one of the biggest hurdles in the supply chain is that of regional language, particularly in a country like India. Sometimes customers can't operate a platform because of a regional language issue. Can you please comment on this?
So, as a global company, we have always been encountered with, this so-called challenge, right? We have got customers across 31 countries, and there are scripts that are different, languages that are different. So, all our solutions are multilingual. So, and very easily the users, they can see the fields, the information that is needed for them to operate, the app or the platform in their native languages. So we use Microsoft technology, and that has got some inbuilt features to make it multilingual. So clearly, this is a challenge that existed ever since we started, and we had addressed those challenges, through our platform.
Another thing that I noticed that your picture on WhatsApp was of Bharat Thakkar. So, if you can just share some of your memories with him.
Bharat Bhai was so close to us because I always say he gives meaning to the word passion. He was extremely passionate about whatever he did. Today, India ranks, I think, 5 or 6 globally in e-airwaybill ranking. And this whole community system revolution that I will say, which I would say that the next generation of community systems have come from India. And Bharat Bhai has a huge contribution to it. Bharat Bhai was the Akai president, who was taking this whole initiative called Uplift, which is a multimodal cargo community system initiative. And he was so passionate about it. He went to the government, he went to all the airlines, and he went to, all the airports. Akai members, he used to just look at, okay, who are digitized through community platform and who are not. And whoever is not, he will personally call those people, ask them to get digitized. If today India is recognized for its digitization, a lot of credit goes to Bharat Bhai. So I think, he was, whether it is 3 a.m. in the morning, you can expect emails or messages from Bharat Bhai at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And, because he was so passionate, continuously thinking about it. He was people's man. He knew so many people globally. If you look at, some of these global, publications that are paying tribute to him, you will see that, it has left a void in our industry. And, we needed, somebody who exemplified passion. I know that there are others as well, but, Bharat Bhai was really somebody who passionately did, whatever was required for Air Cargo Agents Association, for, this industry in general, air cargo industry in general, digitization, and for our country. And he was a great, patriot himself. He wanted India to be, always at the top. And I would say that he managed to do that, especially when it comes to digitization.
And do you have any memory with him, specific memory that you would
Well,
like?
I can write a book on
Yeah.
Bharat Bhai, honestly. But, if I were to, just pick up a memory, Air India, so as a part of community platform, we do not have Air India on our platform today. So Bharat Bhai was so relentless. He started with station managers. He then immediately went to the supervisors. Then he went to the head of cargo. Then he went to CEO. Then he went to in 2 days he reached out to everybody in Air India, and just taking this message forward of digitization and how Air India could benefit. So just this effort of reaching a public sector airline at multiple levels in a matter of 2 days was phenomenal. And as I said, I mean, when he was president of Akai, we used to sit in the Akai office, and I still remember him just taking a list of members, and okay, he's not still on digital platform. Okay, let me call him, and he'll just make those phone calls and just cajole people into joining it. So he was, I mean, hats off to Bharat Bhai. Wherever he is, he has done a lot for this industry.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for your
thank you.
time.